dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods. Plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds. The hot boy shining. Clock and D, it's time to go to work. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock and D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. See, clock and D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Gone clock in. Gone clock in. Gone clock in. It's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock and D, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. See, clock and D, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense, gone defense, clock and D, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock and D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. See, clock and D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Gone clock in. Gone clock in. Gone clock in. It's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods. Plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds. The hot boy shining. Clock and D, it's time to go to work. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock and D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. See, clock and D. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Gone clock in. Gone clock in. It's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone, defense, defense, clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunt. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, D, yeah, it's time to go to work. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas, we got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, D. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboy season is only a few months from kicking off, but this year, let's do things a little different. Instead of just watching games at home or just going to a game, let's actually experience our Dallas Cowboys, just like West Coast does.
Cowboys Experience is my one-stop shop for all my Cowboys game day weekends. Their packages are all inclusive, including 2 nights hotel accommodation. We'll pick you up and drop you off at the airport and game. Want to hang out and get autographs from current and former Cowboy greats like Drew Pearson? If you're ready to experience the Dallas Cowboys like no other, make sure you inbox West Coast or go to cowboysexperience.com today.
The 2019 Dallas Cowboy season is...
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us at Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate it.
My man West Coast from this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I always say it's good morning, but it's more like good afternoon in Dallas. So good afternoon to everybody in Dallas, and good morning to everybody that's watching in California. Well, it's 10 o'clock, so you should have already been up. So I'm going to just say happy day for everybody. Can I just say happy day? Because I don't want to make anybody feel like they lazy. Because if you're just waking up and it's skin 30 wherever you are, get your narrow tail up and get to active. You know what I'm talking about? They didn't already drop 15 rumors on the Dallas Cowboys, and you don't even know about them yet because you sleeping. Wake your narrow tail up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we in the building today, yo. And hey, I got a surprise today. We should be having a surprise guest on here later on today. My boy, this is not my. I apologize. This is an older gentleman, a very reputable man in the personal training business. My boy Brandon Tucker. He's a guy who's been training Malik Collins and D-Law. He said he'd be gracing us with his appearance about 10:30. So hopefully we get him on there from Trench Warfare, man. One of the best independent trainers of defensive linemen in the world, Craig. He said he wants to come on and talk a little defensive line. So if we can get him on here, we're gonna get him on here a little bit. But yo, you guys already know, man. I got the hottest rider in the game, man. I got the hottest rider in the game, man. He's also my cousin. But I don't gotta say he's the hottest rider in the game because he's my cousin. I say the hottest rider in the game because I was reading his stuff before I even said he was the hottest in the game. But y'all already know who he is, man. It's your boy. It is your boy, Boss Cowboy, man. Until he becomes regular again, I'm gonna keep on introducing him like he's a guest. You know, I'm just taking jabs at you. What's up with you, Boss Cowboy?
Hey man, that was a jab, man. I thought that was like a brotherly kiss or something.
I don't know about no. Oh, you know what? The Bible does say, greet your brother with a holy kiss. It does say that. My pastor, whenever he sees me, gives me a hug. He kissed me right here on my cheek. He said, I'm right here on your cheek. That's how you love me. Remember, that's the same pastor that walked up and handed me $900 when my cousin died and said, go see your family. So you gotta love those pastors, man. Gotta love those families, man. Yeah. But hey, let's shout out our family, man. Our crazy Cowboy family, man. I know we don't always agree. I know we don't always disagree either, but guess what? We always family. So let me get in this comment box and say what up to my family. What up with you, Jacob? What up with you? What up with you, Tip? What up with you, Miss Sarah? How you doing? How you doing, Scout? E-Kush, I see you, man. He says it's time to clock in. I also see somebody over there on YouTube. What's up with you? He says, what's up with you, 19214 DC? Y'all got some weird names on YouTube. I'm gonna just keep going at 100. Y'all got some weird names on YouTube. But what's up with you, 1924 DC4L? He says that song is corny. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest with you. If your Cowboy song ain't corny, it ain't hot. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You go listening to, I know it's better than the Rose song. That clock in way better than the Rose song. That clock in defense, time to go to work. When you listen to the Rose song, you don't do that. You go, go ahead, boss.
And some songs grown, you know, it's one of those things. If you just heard it, yeah, sure. But after you hear it in a while, you're gonna be touching your wrist, talking about it's time to clock in. It's okay.
I mean, after you hear it a couple times, you're gonna be talking like this: Gone, defense, clock in, it's time to go to work. Yeah. Hey, what do you say? When you see the star on the field, you meet the law. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? That song gonna be, it can be as corny as it want to, as long as the Dallas Cowboy defense clock in. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're gonna be doing this year. Watch.
Yeah, and
they're gonna be
specifically made that for the defense.
Specifically, I can't even say it.
Defense. It wasn't even for just the Cowboys. That boy saying. When the defense hit the field.
This is what they tell them. Go to work. Yeah, man. Tell me when you hear that song, you ain't ready to go sack a quarterback. Tell me right now. Tell me right now, when you hear that song, that don't want you to go smack Eli in the face. Tell me, man.
Gone.
Thank you. Come on. I knew it was going to come out. I knew I was going to get one from Boss Cowboy. Hey, man, you tripping, man.
I'm always rocking with Star.
All right. Hey, my boy Jacob says, oh, Boss is sounding robotic again. It's all good, man. We going to work on it, man. But as soon as my wife turned that air conditioner on, I'll stop sweating. But yo, man, let's shout out some folks in this comment box, yo. It's getting real. I feel we a family, so I can just keep it real. You know, sometimes I try to send hints like, baby, turn the air conditioner on. But you know how I be sometimes. These women, they don't always get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I bought my wife a new car last night, man. I'm going to tell you, man, she only had the car 45 minutes. And I walk in the car this morning, and she already has 3 different restaurants' foods crumbled and trash. I'm going through it right now, boss. But I'm going to make it through. This show is what helps me make it through my daily married life, this show. E-Kush, what's up with you? Michael, hey man, Michael, you've been rocking with us for a minute, man. You be having some damn good comments. I don't always get to them, but I want to let you know, Michael. I think it was yesterday or one of them days you was really banging for your boy. So I appreciate you, Michael. I wrote that down. I told myself I was gonna tell you when I seen you on there. Vato, what up with you, man? I see you, Vato. I see you over there on YouTube. Dorothy, how you doing? Matthew, how you doing? Boss Cowboy, I know you see. Do you see one or two people in the comments? Are you able to use your phone like that?
Yeah, but I heard some of the people that you mentioned, so obviously I want to talk about Michael as well, because he's great at commenting, and he'll get in your inbox with some good stuff too.
Yeah, he saved me. I forget the exact, but I write all this little stuff down in my little handy dandy. But he said I was thinking of something the other day, and he said it, so I just read his comment. So you saved your boy the other day. I think it was like 2 days ago or something like that. But I remember I wrote it down. I was like, as soon as I see him, I'm gonna tell him that. So I appreciate you.
I comment all the time, and then obviously E. Kush. One of the things that I love about E. Kush, man.
That's Kanye. That's Kanye.
Yeah, this is why I love E. Kush. You mentioned one time about me getting my Patreon going, right?
Yeah.
E. Kush has been hitting me up almost twice a week saying, my brother, when are you getting the Patreon going, because I want to support you.
That's
That's
dope.
what I'm talking about.
That's dope.
He hit me up, like get it going, because I want to put some money in your pocket to help you do what you're doing even more, because obviously he's a big supporter of you, West Coast. But that's the type of fan, and that's the type of Cowboy fan that's like the best. Like, he literally pressured me, get it together, boss, because so I can.
Hey, can I tell you a secret too, though?
What's that?
When you get a Patreon, that also lets you know that technically you are working for the fans. So that means when they ask questions and when they be like, West Coast, what do you think? Videos and articles must come. Y'all be wondering why I do put so much content out there. And that's because in my heart of hearts, I feel as if I'm working for you guys. Why? Because I have a army of scouts. This is just a few of them. I got a couple more I got to add on there. So please, I know I'll be slow with everything, but I need to get on my admin stuff. I know I apologize, but I know it's like 6 other scouts I need to add on here. I got a legion of scouts that support us, bro. So it's like, that's why I go so hard. Like, that's why you see me in Vegas one week with the Hot Boys, then you see me in Dallas the next week with such and such, and then you see me in Oxnard one week, another nuts. Like, that's why I go so hard. That's why that's why we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't went to training camp. I've only missed 2 days of training camp so far. Technically 3, but I actually went, but I had to leave early. You know what I'm saying? Because I had some business I had to take care of. So yeah, I've only missed 2 days of training camp. And when I'm at training camp, like literally the only thing you guys don't see from my video is when I get out my car, I put my phone on my clip, I go to the potty, I get some water, and then I go to work. That's the only thing you guys don't see. Other than that, I record from the time I walk on campus all the way to the time of me walking back to my car. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm going to be honest with you. I told my boy B. Jeezy the other day, he'd beat my boy B. Jeezy. He always puts the clock in. I called him yesterday because I was feeling weird about not going live. But I had to buy my lady, I didn't have to buy my wife a new car. But, man, come on, man. When your wife starts saying, can you fix this? Can you do that? Can you do this? Can you do that? Husbands, you already know. Just get her something else. You know what I'm talking about? Get her a new car. You ain't got to ask no questions for 5 years. So I'm good for 5 years right now. At least that's what the finances say. So yeah, I had to get her a new car so she can get off my head. You know what I'm talking about? So I had to do that. Yes, I had to do that yesterday. So I wasn't able to go live. And I literally called Oates right here at the bottom. I literally called Oates and was like, bro, like I feel weird right now. Why? Because I'm not live. Like I know I should be live right now. And he's like, bro, you got stuff you got to do. But I'm just saying, I say all that to say this, man. You guys motivate us. Like, you guys keep us going. And I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you. I appreciate the scouts. Like, you guys make this feel as if I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do a lot for Cowboys experience. That's my main process of business, how I provide for my family and how I pay for things around here. But I just want to appreciate you guys for helping us and getting this thing. And also, more importantly, I appreciate you guys for loving your team enough to support. Like, if you didn't love the Cowboys, you wouldn't have supported. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. And I want you guys, that's why my scouts know. My scouts know. Like, that's why I love it when people be like, oh, what are you guys getting for? And then it'll be my scouts. I don't even got to say nothing. Like, I don't even say nothing because my scouts know we look out. Like, we look out. They get discounts on jerseys. They get if I'm somewhere and they're there, they're in. They know, my scouts know I look out. Like, they know I look out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I mean, my boy Boss Cowboy was technically a scout. He was a scout at first. You know what I'm saying? And what happened? Fondled it up, and now we on shows. I got my other scout, Ricky Star Breezy, has his own show, and guess what? We support him. So it's just back and forth banter, man. But we kind of went a little. I was kind of emotional this morning, so I apologize. I went a little too far with that. But hey, man, let's get back to this show.
Brandon Tucker just got on. It showed on my Zoom.
Hey, there we go. What's up with you, Coach? How you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm blessed, brother. How are you?
I am extremely blessed, man. I told you guys we had a special guest for you guys today. I told you guys we had a special guest for you guys. We have one of, I like to, I'm going to be honest with you. I want to call him a creator. The reason why I call him a creator is because a lot of the things that he is doing with the defensive line and with these defensive guys on this, it's a lot of stuff you haven't seen before. You know what I'm saying? So I view him the exact same way I view myself, and the way Boss Cowboy views himself. We view him as a creator because he is creating techniques and different things that athletes are taking, and not only are they playing well, but these dudes are getting paid, man. So his techniques are helping folks get paid. So I want to introduce real quick Mr. Brian Tucker from Trench Warfare. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, man, I'm good, man. Good to be on with you.
Shoot, man, I just want to give your resume a little bit real quick. He's worked so I'll give you 4 names that some guys that he's worked with: Malik Collins, D-Law, Montez Switz, and your boy LL Collier. You guys remember the cool thing about Montez and LL is we actually did a lot of draft analysis on him because we kind of knew we couldn't get Montez, but we wanted us some LJ. So you know, it's I love the fact that all 4 of the major names that he's worked with, and he's worked with more names, but those are just the names I want to, so you guys can get familiar with him. But he's with some real reputable guys who have consistently produced over their career. So real quick, man, I just want to know what's your well, actually, Boss Cowboy, I'll let you introduce yourself too. Go ahead, boss.
Man, what's up? First of all, Brandon, thanks for joining the show. You know, Montez Sweat, man, I was looking at your resume, and that's the only one I was like, oh, man, this dude Montez Sweat.
Yeah, he did.
Some things, Brandon, I wanted you to keep exclusive to us, my brother. Exclusive. I do not want to see Mr. Sweat, working a cross chop move and all the stuff that you teach, my brother. Anyway, it's definitely happy to have you on the show, man. I got some questions for you whenever West Coast kind of open it up. I just want to ask you a couple of things.
Okay, so let's start with your background. I mean, just as far as your playing and things like that, like how did you get into this environment, and then how did that lead you into basically because I mean I know there are personal trainers that are advertising themselves, but what I see with you, I see players coming more to you, and finding you out. And really acknowledging you. That's actually how I found you, because another player acknowledged you, and then I've just followed the bunny trail, and it led back to you. So I want to know, how did you start in that industry, and then leading up to you, and then we'll hit you bombard you with some questions.
For sure, man. So as a player, man, my career was short-lived, man. I got cut twice by the Saints, and then after that, man, it went straight into training and coaching, and from a training aspect, for me to start training at a high level, it was real organic, man. There's a facility called Exos, and they have 4 training facilities throughout the country. There's one here in Frisco, Texas, and they had a D-line combine coach that was supposed to show up and train. He's actually a Hall of Fame guy. We'll keep him nameless. Ooh. And he no-showed on. And so I got a call from their football director, and he was like, Tuck, I need you. I need you to get these guys ready. And that was back in 2012. And got my first group ready. I still have a couple guys still playing out of that group. And, from there, it just picked up, man. And things start, just blowing up, actually. And so now I'm to the point where agents will actually reach out to me to get their guys ready for the combine. And so that's my secondary business line. My primary business line is training middle school and high school guys, getting them ready for college. And so working with the NFL guys is seasonal. So I'll get them in the spring and in the summer, and then they're off.
Okay. Now I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a quick question, because when you said you start with the younger guys, the thing about the defensive line and the offensive line when you're young, it's almost like, or at least when I played junior All-American, that's usually where they put you, where they don't know what to do with you, or you're too big, or you're too slow, or you don't want it, you can't be a quarterback. So they be like, you know what? Go on over there and talk to Coach Tuck. I want to know, what are you doing to get these kids even excited about playing a position that doesn't get glamorous until you get really into like college?
Yeah, so that's going to be a battle that we do forever, man. Everybody wants to be a ball carrier, and so we just try to make sure that our young players, especially our offensive linemen, understand how truly valuable they are. And so what we tell them is, if it wasn't for us, it's 7-on-7, man. And 7-on-7 isn't real football. It's real football when you put the bigs in the game. Okay. That's the message we're constantly relaying to our younger players.
Okay. Boss Cowboy, go ahead, man. I know you had something for him.
Yeah, because I was checking you out, Brandon, obviously preparing for the show. And, I was watching your interview with Mike Fisher. I think it was last year, right? Yeah, I was watching your interview, and one of the things that I kind of see with people like you is every now and then there's a battle of politics to where sometimes coaches can actually feel as if people like you are hurting them, but because, when players show up ready, you get the credit, right? But you said something that I was impressed with. You said that the Cowboys reached out to you about David Irving. I wanted you to kind of shed some light on kind of like navigating the politics of being a person that Ake can kind of refer to in terms of getting players ready and walking that fine line of making sure that you also kind of stay neutral to the point to where you don't, I guess, approach. Because like, for instance, in New England, Brady, everybody know Brady had his guy, but that started to kind of rub people wrong. But it seemed like you walking that line right. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
That's a great question, man, and it applies to every level of play. And so I'll start at the professional level. The main thing that you want to do is make sure that, first off, you're not doing anything that contradicts what their position coach wants them to do.
Okay.
And so the main thing I want to do in training my professional guys is reinforce what they're being taught, in OTAs and in practice. And so the longer you do it, the better those relationships become with the coaches. And so you're able to stay on the right side of the politics. That's right, by not going against what they're doing. And then at the collegiate level, it's really the same thing. College coaches, their job is tough already with the limited amount of time and access that they have with their players.
So would you say that you have to then be adaptable in basically your training, so you don't have kind of like your tools and tricks, or if you do have your tools and tricks, you're doing it more so to enhance what they already teach?
You have to. You have to. So I want guys to have a basic skill set.
Okay.
Have a basic skill set in run and pass. But first of all, not everybody is the same from a player perspective. So I have to do things that go with their skill set. And then secondly, everyone's scheme is different. And so now I've got to take that player, understand exactly what they're wanting to do within their scheme, and then make sure that I provide them the tools necessary to be successful, one as a player, and then two inside their scheme.
Okay. I had a kind of just kind of bring it up to date, man. Those were some great responses, man. I have a kind of question that kind of, because I watch a lot of film. And one thing that I noticed about, D-Law, he plays defensive end, right? But one thing I noticed about D-Law is he is very, very aggressive. Well, here lately over the last 2 years, and I I'll give you, I would definitely give you some of the credit for that. But he has been very aggressive against the run also. So what do you do? What do you do to get these defensive ends who get paid to sack the quarterback to buy in on stopping the running back?
So as it relates to Tank, he is one of those guys that takes a tremendous amount of pride in being able to defend the run. I mean, if you have a chance to visit with you, that's one of the very first things that he's going to talk to you about. He takes tremendous pride in being able to defend the run. He wants to be a complete rushman, and so you got to be able to defend the run. For the most part, everybody that I deal with does too. I mean, they want to be complete football players. And the matrix that they grade you upon these days, it's not just your pass rush. It's not the amount of sacks that you can generate. It's the amount of tackles that you make if they're, behind the line of scrimmage down the field. And then they've got matrix that saw how much pressure you put on the quarterback, how deep you're pressing the pocket. And so those guys are aware of that. And for the most part, everyone I work with takes tremendous pride with being able to defend the run.
Okay. Boss, go ahead.
Yeah. Another one of my obvious questions is has to do with like Malik Collins. Like Malik Collins right now seems to really be a standout in camp. And from when I've been watching kind of like the video highlights of him in the same, there was times where you could see 4 guys out there. But then there were times to where you could actually see it was just him. So like how much of your work is actually the extra effort that's actually in the players themselves and your tutelage?
It's a balance, man. And I think when it comes to Malik, he's healthy. Right now, man, he's healthy. You're looking at a guy that is probably in the best shape ever. And he's to the point now where he understands what's going on, man, before it happens. I mean, that comes with experience. And lastly, man, it's a contract year, man. Hard, baby.
Hey, if your trainer don't know when it's a contract year, get a new trainer.
Got you. West Coast, can I squeeze in one more?
Go, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, Brandon. So I was listening to Kentner today, and he was talking about that, right? And everybody know Kentner was a grinder when he was in the league, somebody that didn't have a lot of skill, but he grinded it out. Sound like you, where basically you was cut, but you was a grinder. So my question to you, especially because I was thinking about this, getting prepared for the show, is how much what you do is a natural teaching versus your training? Because some people, to me, seem like they're natural teachers, right? To where they know how to break down complicated things and moves and just simplify it and unify it. Do you feel like it's a gift to teach? Or is it just kind of like your experience in grinding it out, trying to make teams cut that can really, allow you to take players like Tank that got the raw skills and the freak skills, and then you can mold them? How much of it is a teaching gift, and how much is it your grind that goes into you molding these guys?
So as far as the grind goes, if you're going to play football, man, you better be a grinder. Period.
Fact.
If you can't grind, man, this isn't the business for you. This isn't the game for you. And then as far as being a teacher, for me, that's what I take tremendous pride in. That's why I love working with the younger players because not everybody can relay the information that is needed the right type of way. When you got great coaches that can come up with incredible schemes, but can they reach their players?
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. So for me, man, I'm a teacher. Everything I do is slow. Guys, when they show up to work out with me for the first time, what they expected isn't what they're going to get. They think we're going to run through a bunch of bags and do a bunch of drills. No, there's a time and place for that. You do that in practice, but I need you to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and then when you need to do it. And so if you can understand that, if you can grasp those concepts, the game slows down for you and you become more productive. And so I really focus on football IQ And the only way I can increase a guy's football IQ is for him to understand what in the world's going on around him.
Yeah.
So that's I consider myself to be a teacher first, then a trainer, right? Because anybody can go grab some step over dummies and some pop up bags and run around real scene on the internet, man.
Yeah.
Right. But pass and run starts with your feet. A lot of guys put a whole bunch of emphasis on your hands. And then I'm gonna tell you, you can work your hands all day long, but if you're standing in one place on the line of scrimmage, man, you're a patty cake guy, man. You're playing into the strength of the offensive lineman because you're not pressing the pocket or working the field. So the primary thing in pass and run is your feet, brother. I mean, and so we spend a tremendous amount of time on understanding what your feet should be doing at all times.
Okay. I have kind of a question. This is kind of a Hail Mary question, but I just want to know if you can just, what is I just literally thought about this because if I'm gonna have an expert guru on here, I gotta ask him this question. What is the difference between Aaron Donald and everybody else?
Hey,
I need to know. I need to know.
West Coast, great question, man. First of all, when he was born. when he was born, he was kissed by the football guys.
Okay, that was the first thing. Okay.
All right. His combination of speed, size, strength, and athleticism is rare. Okay. Most people would consider him to be undersized.
Exactly.
But he is tremendously blessed with the perfect combination of speed, size, and athleticism and strength. Lastly, if you look at him play, man, this dude is north every snap. Every snap, he's upfield, man. And whether it's run or pass, he is penetrating. He's working moves while he's going north. He's not flipping his hips in one place. You know what I'm saying? He's not patty caking. Whether it's run or pass, he's up the field, and that's what separates him from everybody else in the league. I think Aaron took a little under 1,000 snaps last year.
Yeah.
Right? That's so now his health and his availability helps him. And then what did he have? 20
and a half.
20 and a half?
$1 million per sack, basically.
So now let's look at it this way. Think about how valuable a sack is. This dude took almost 1,000 sacks, almost 900 and some odd snaps.
Yeah.
He got 20 sacks, 20 and a half. So he got a sack, what, every 45 plays, something in around there, if my math is correct?
God, that's crazy.
Okay, so now they're taking 65 plays, 70 plays a game. I mean, man, those sacks are valuable, man. That's why these pass rushers get paid like they do. But the ability for him to get upfield, the ability for him to stay healthy, which really hampers guys. The game is so physical. I mean, he's just special, man. I don't think we've seen the likes of an interior lineman since Warren Sapp, man.
Exactly, and especially be able to produce that. I mean, because the whole saying is, hey, you're a defensive tackle. You're not going to get sacks. Everything that you get paid for is not going to really show up on a column box. But you're seeing these guys, you're seeing the tackles get to the quarterback more. You're seeing these guys get to the quarterback. And you made a great point about Aaron Donald because the thing about Aaron Donald, most great players that you see, one of the most obvious thing is they're usually either physically just bigger than everybody. But you said, you don't see that with Aaron Donald. There are some guys in the league who are bigger than Aaron Donald, and probably even, I would say, maybe even stronger than Aaron Donald. But they are not nearly as effective as Aaron Donald. Right. Nearly as effective. So my another question to kind of piggyback on that is, when you're looking for when a team is looking, is there a certain body type that they're looking for? Because we have a Malik Collins who's your typical, who's playing very well. He helped D-Law get a lot of sacks. But then you have a guy like Antoine Woods who is on your smaller size, but he's very effective also. So is there a healthy medium that people are, that you're looking for when you're building your prototype or NFL D lineman?
Man, so how do you want me to answer that question? You want me to
Well, answer. Don't answer it politically correct. Well, answer it politically correct, because if not, I don't want you to lose no business. You get everybody. Everybody can come, but you know what I mean, Coach.
So I'll talk about how it relates to the Cowboys first.
There we go.
Okay, so now, and I have a little bit of perspective into that room because, you know, my business partner is Andre Gerard. Man, Coach Marinelli wants guys that can go. And I mean, can hook it up and flat fly. And so he doesn't necessarily want a big 330-pound, you know, two-gapping defensive tackle or nose guard that's going to stand on the line of scrimmage. And so that's why you see a guy like Antoine Woods, who can get in there. He's built low to the ground. His get off is exceptional, and he's going to demand a double team. Right, you've got to double team him, and then you pair him with Malik, or when they slide down Ty on the inside, and both of those guys are getting off the rock, man, and they're gone. Right, and so they look for guys that can flat run, and they've shown that with the baby Tristan that they just drafted. He gets off the rock, he can run. A free agent guy they picked up, Daniel Wise. Hey man, look out for great things from that kid out of Kansas, man. He's gonna really blow things up because he gets off the ball and he goes. So the Cowboys look for guys that can flat get after the passer and then read while they're rushing upfield to defend the run. And so they want athletic guys. You see any big 325 or 330-pound guys on their line.
Yeah. Now you see a bunch of in shape guys. That's very, very true. Go ahead, boss. I have another question, but I'm gonna shoot it to boss because I'm gonna be fair. Go ahead, boss. I know you got something, but I'm coming back.
I was enjoying it. You said one of the things that you talked about. You said patty cake. Now that's a defensive line term, right? That most of us don't know what you're saying. With the line speech on that, you explain some of the concepts like patty caking, which sounds like it's a loafing, or maybe, you know, at the point tag where you basically held up and you really kind of neutralized. Is that what you mean by patty cake? Or?
Yeah. So, and that's so, you know, I'm gonna take a couple shots, man, at some of the guys that train defensive linemen based on what they see on the internet, but because you're gonna play like you play. Right. So now,
that's true.
If you got a patty caking defensive lineman, that means he's standing at the line of scrimmage with his feet stationary, working moves with his hands.
Okay? Got you. I see that too.
Yeah, and so that's what we call patty caking, man. And you look at a lot of guys that do training and post their training videos, you'll see that they got those guys doing exactly that.
I feel you. They're almost like
their hands not going anywhere. And so because the coaching industry overall, and even the training industry, is a monkey see, monkey do type of deal, they think that's what's effective. And so the training circle that I belong to, we don't do anything that doesn't translate to the football field. If it doesn't translate, we're not going to do it. And so that's why you won't catch any of the guys I work with standing on the line of scrimmage, working plays without running their feet.
Okay.
So that's what I say.
It starts with your feet.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why I heard you say it starts with your feet more than your hand.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. I have a quick. I know you probably can't give. You can give as much as you possibly can, but you brought up Tristan, man. I want to know the NFL grading system had their own grading system on where they felt Tristan Hill was supposed to be drafted at. Now the Cowboys decided to draft him before that. Now, I have a feeling that you have a small insight on what was it that Rod Marinelli fell in love with Tristan Hill. I'm very curious to know, what do you think the attributes or whatever you think, what skill set do you think it was of Tristan Hill that they fell in love with that made them want to take him before? And people get drafted all the time before they're projected, but he was a guy that we did draft before our own projection. And I wanted to know what was other than just because Rob Marinelli, he loves those high energy guys, but is there do you think there was a technical thing, or was there something that just made them fall in love with this kid where they had to take him at that pick 58? Because that surprised a lot of people in Cowboy Nation. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can give you as much information as I can, because I haven't worked with him as of yet. But I can tell you this. Let me ask you this first. Did he come out after his junior year or senior year?
He came out after his junior year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so as a sophomore, then he was very productive, and they changed coaching staffs down there, right? And so he kind of fell out of favor with that staff, the new staff, for whatever reason. And who knows what it was exactly. But he was very productive the year before, and he was productive as a non-starter for them this past season.
Yeah.
Right? And so what he possesses are the traits that the Cowboys look at, and that's his size, his weight, his arm length, his body type, and the type of burst and get off that he has. I had another reporter talk to me about was it Zach Martin that had the MRI on his back?
Yes, sir. That was Zach Martin.
Okay. They said that I was told that he started to favor that back after he took a rep with Tristan, because he wasn't expecting that he possesses. And they said before he knew it, Tristan got into him, bent him back uncomfortably. They said he was able to recover in the rep, but they said he wasn't expecting that from the rookie, man. And I think that's what the Cowboys identified when evaluating his film, is that roster gets off the rock, man. And those are things that you can build on. If he's able to do that already, with the tutelage of Big Cat and Dre and of course Coach Marinelli, I mean, they feel like they found a diamond in the rough, because essentially he's a Cowboys first round pick.
Yeah.
Essentially that's what he ended up being, because they didn't have one.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, man, they saw a lot of intangibles that you can't coach in that young man, and I'm hoping the best for him, man.
Hey, a question on intangibles, real quick. As a coach, what do you think is easy? I mean, what would you prefer? A guy that has a lot of intangibles, or a guy that has things that you can actually quantify on a stat column? Like, what do you, or is there like a healthy medium?
There's a healthy medium. There's a healthy medium. Some guys are going to be successful because of the system that they play in, and then some guys are going to be successful because they can just flat out play. And so I want a combination of both. And so what that means is I've got a guy who can play, but he's coachable enough for me to put him in multiple systems and he'd be successful. I mean, that's why you see guys coming from one system to the next and there's a drop off, or there's all of a sudden now this guy is playing well, right? So the system suits his skill set, or it doesn't. So I think there's a balance there, and I look for guys that are both. Defensive linemen in today's game, it's none of that, he's a dumb job, man. These guys have to have high football IQ, and they need to be very, very intelligent because of what's asked of them.
Yeah.
So I need a combination of both.
All right, boss. If you got, I want to go into some. I got to ask him a question, man. Last year, the Dallas Cowboys lost 6 games on the road, and in each one of those games, we gave up on average 115 to 120 rushing yards. I know people only think about the Rams games because that was the worst. We did 275. Like, what if just what are your thoughts on this Cowboys defensive line? And what are your thoughts on getting it back? I mean, because I think we did a really good job last year, but there was just games where we just literally just dropped the ball, and I think that funnel up the middle, because on the ends, D-Law he was taking care of his business. Randy G was taking care of his business on the inside, but in that Rams game, they kept hitting us right over the right. They were going right between the guard and the center every single play. Like, what are your thoughts on this current Dallas Cowboys this defensive line improvements, or what do you think we need to do?
Man, I think the line is as good as they've been in a very long time, man. Those I think they're, and I don't want to say who's going to be on the final roster, but the guys that I know will be there, they're outstanding. I take that Dallas Cowboy line right now over anybody else's. I think last year, especially as it relates to the Ram game, I I don't think that was a defensive line issue. I think that was a chemistry issue with the linebackers. Just because of the way the Cowboys play their defense. Remember, they're up the field, and so I think one of the things that was overlooked in that game from normal people, I say the people that aren't in the coaching or in the media, is that Sean Lee was inserted back into the rotation. Okay, and if you go back and look at the Cowboys season last year, Vander Esch played the best when Sean Lee wasn't active.
You opening up that box, Coach. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you keep going, but go ahead. You opening it up.
I gotta defend the defensive line, man, because they got blamed for a lot of stuff that happened in that game. And that as a rookie, when you have who the Cowboys consider to be a future Hall of Famer at linebacker behind you, when he's not active, guess what? The baby's like, man, you know what? This is me. I gotta go out here and do my thing. As opposed to when Lee was
Bad little.
and a little bit tighter, because there's somebody that's going to come in and potentially play if he makes a mistake. And so now you had a good thing rolling at that tail end of the season. I think it really started in the New Orleans game here at home. Was that a Sunday night game?
Yeah, Thursday.
It was a Thursday night game. That's one of the few that I went to as well, man. And I'm talking about both those inside linebackers played their butts off, man. And then when you insert a veteran who's considered a team leader, and I just think that really had an effect on both those young players with their chemistry. And you saw us get gassed. And, Sean Lee's been a great player, but Father Time is undefeated, brother. I mean,
yeah.
all you got to do is be one step slow, and they're off and running, man. So I think that had a lot to do with what happened in the Rams game versus, how the defensive line played. I think the D-line did what they needed to do to be successful. Of course, the Rams have great coaches, just like the Cowboys have great coaches. So there were some things that happened that we can point fingers at and look at in hindsight to say. But I think if you go back and look at that game and look at the linebacker play, you see it's a little bit off based on what it had been in the previous weeks. I think it was because of the insertion of Lee in the rotation.
Wow, go ahead, boss. I know you got something on that, boss. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, not exactly on.
Go ahead. I got you.
Questions. I'm trying to cheat West Coast.
Go ahead.
My first question is, I coached obviously not on level, but obviously I've coached, right? And so you have different types of players. You have those that are very reachable, very attentive. Then you have those who almost act like they're above coaching. You know what I'm talking about. For sure, you explaining, you teaching, but they almost have an air of being above, especially when an agent refers you. And so it's like an agent refers and says, I want you to work with Coach Tucker. He's going to help you get to the next level. And they show up almost deviantly. Now, you strike me as a straight up person. Can you kind of talk about some of those trends? Trying to get them to buy in to your coaching and try to take them to the next level.
Yeah, so, and I've seen, and I always remind these guys, man, the NFL stands for not for long, brother. And you were sent here for a reason. You can continue to do things the way that you've done them and continue to have the same type of success that you had or lack of it. Or, you can take what I'm to your repertoire, man. So yeah, we deal with it. Normally it's just a one-time conversation that we got to have.
Okay.
And for the most part, I wouldn't call them any defensive linemen divas, but you definitely got some Hollywood cats, man. And when I say Hollywood, I'm talking about they like the man, so the gold and the cars and the clothes and all that. That's what we call those cats Hollywood, man. But at the end of the day, as long as they get on the field and perform, man, do your thing, be you, whatever motivates you, So yeah, I've had to deal with that for sure.
Okay, my next question is with David Irving. I'm one of the few that's holding out hope for David Irving. I still believe it's a chance with this current CBA. They had a meeting on the 29th. It might open up some doors for players like him that I believe dealt with mental illness more than substance abuse. I honestly really believe that from my research. But that's reached out to you about him, about playing a 3 technique.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is that he was a freak that Tampa game as a natural DN. Can you talk about kind of training David Irving? Because there's rumors that's out there about him saying that he didn't love football. I didn't quite see that. Just from me on the outside, I'm not saying throw him under the bus, but like, what is it like when you're working with a player that's a freak like David Irving, especially somebody that was able to move across almost every position on the defensive line?
So, David Irving, man, is like a little brother to me. I actually spoke with him. Today is what's the day? Wednesday. So I spoke with him this weekend. And whenever I had him, he worked tremendously. He was a tremendous hard worker. He always did what was asked of him. And as far as his ability to play, man, this dude could play the 1, the 3, he could play both ends. I mean, he was definitely a super extraordinary special talent, man. I've not seen the only person that I've seen have the type of athleticism that Irving possesses is Montez. And he's nowhere as big as David was. And so, David was extremely special from an athletic standpoint. I can tell you this: he's at peace with where he's at right now. There is some rumors out there about him not loving football. I didn't see that from him. What I got from him was someone that was dealing with so many off the field issues that it was a major distraction in everything that he dealt with, man. And some people deal with distractions differently, man. And he obviously did not deal with distractions as well as some of the seasoned guys. You remember, he was a young football player as well. I mean,
right.
When you're a free agent, when you're an undrafted free agent, and you get cut from one team and then you end up on another, and then you play like he did in that breakout year, here comes a bunch of attention that potentially he wasn't ready for. And so, I don't think it was a lack of love. I think it was a lack of professionalism.
Right.
And so he didn't know how to be a professional football player at the time. And there's a lot of guys that are in that same bucket. You just don't see their mishaps played out like they were with David.
Yeah, especially being a Dallas Cowboy, because everything that we do, you can't go to the strip club, you can't go, you can't accidentally bump into somebody, anything without it being, extra dramatized in Dallas.
Right.
And I would want you to, Coach Tucker, to do me a favor.
Sure.
When you talk to little brother David Irving, your little brother, because I've been researching this very heavily. Please tell him, not even for the Dallas Cowboys, to keep grinding, because the mood is changing on substance abuse. And I know he retired on, Instagram, which, I wish he didn't do it that way.
Yeah, it was
but
crazy.
There's still hope for him. There's hope for him, and I want it for him as a person, like not even just for us. Obviously, I would love him for us, but just for him as a person, I want to see the redemptive side of David Irving, because it is so much exponential talent in him. So I just wanted to just say that real quick. My last question, unless West Coast, you had something. My last question I had, and I might have another one, but your story is like very intriguing. Like, you live in a dream to a lot of us. You coaching the best. Yeah, you really are. Like, you really coaching the best. You living your life. You working in a passion, not just money, right? Because a lot of people coach, but a lot of people not in their passion, right? A lot of people making money, but so like, talk about kind of pursuing your dreams. Somebody that was cut, and obviously being cut didn't feel good. It probably felt like the world was ending, but now you see life has continued. Talk about being able to pursue your dreams and your passions, because 2012 to 2019, getting an accidental call from a no-show from a Hall of Famer to now, it's a long time. But you endured. I just want you to kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so, and that's a great question, man. You know, I remember sitting in business class and my professor telling me, you know, the reason I'm standing here before you is because I was mildly successful in business. He said, so it was meant for me to teach. It was meant for me to teach the successes that I had, but it was also meant for me to share with you the mistakes that I made, so that you guys don't make them. And so it was a reason that I wasn't a player that I wanted to be. Okay. You know, I wouldn't have had the family that I had, because I promise you, if I'd have made it, I'd have been some type of donkey, man. I'm talking about with a barrette on my tail, bro. I'd have been loose. You know, I wouldn't have had the family that I had. And I wouldn't have had the humility that it takes to teach. And so that's the first part, man. And then the second part is I know what a huge responsibility that it is. I know that it's a blessing for me to be in this position. I realize that as quickly as I, you know, was blessed to be in the position, that it can be taken away. And so there's a tremendous amount of accountability and responsibility. I got to make sure that I stay on top of my game, man. And it's truly humbling. You know, I got to pinch myself sometimes, like, you know what? You know, if I would have tried to do this, it probably would not have happened. If I set out to say, this is what I want to do as a career, I don't think it would have happened, because there was no roadmap. You know, if you want to be a coach, I mean, there's been hundreds and hundreds of thousands of coaches, and there's a roadmap as to how to get there. For this industry, there wasn't, and I'm not a big social media guy.
Yeah.
And so it happened organically. It's a blessing. I treat it as such. And man, I gotta pinch myself. Like right now, I'm you know, my son just tried to come downstairs. Man, we got high school practice here at 4:00. He tried to come downstairs. He's trying to get his stuff together. And I'm like, hold on a second. And he knows I'm visiting. So, you know, it's just, I gotta pinch myself every once in a while, because I'm in a position where I can go watch both my boys practice instead of having to punch the clock, man. So
beautiful, brother.
I got my last question about my last question I have to ask you is it's just kind of like been always this. Do you? Because I think the Dallas Cowboys are under the impression that they can prolong Sean Lee's career by having better defensive linemen in the front, so he doesn't have to take on as much contact. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Coach. That's kind of like. Maybe I had a bad beat. I was a DB, so maybe my defensive line coach, obviously he wasn't as good as you. But I will say this: he used to always tell us, like, you can count how many of the tackles the linebackers have and the safeties have to determine if the defensive line did their job. You know, is that still, with as good as these running backs are, like, is that still a true statement in your opinion? Because last year Jalen Smith had 127 tackles, and LVE, who didn't even start until week 4, had 176.
Yeah.
How long are they going to be able to do that? I don't think anybody's going to be able to continue to do that.
Well, most defenses are designed for the linebackers to make plays. The Cowboys defense, because they're jetting upfield and run and pass, is designed for whoever gets it. But overall, they still want to run those running backs into certain fits. And so those fits, it's like it's making that running back run down a hallway directly to the linebacker. So that is something that most defenses are designed to do. Now, as it relates to the Cowboys and Sean Lee, man, that starts at the top, brother. I mean, Jerry Jones, as an owner, Steven, as an owner, they love their guys, period. That's why you saw Witten be able to come out of retirement and rejoin the team. I mean, if you're one of their guys, they love you. They're going to take care of you. And it's an admirable, trait from an ownership standpoint, but it can also be something that hurts you as well. I mean, so, with Lee being still a part of the team, if you look around the league, any other linebacker that's had the lengthy career that he's had, the amount of hits, the amount of injuries that he's had, they're letting go of guys that have had less.
Yeah.
And so, it's a fine line there. When are you going to let the young guys take the leadership?
Exactly. That's a good point. I remember when I interviewed D-Law at the SportsCon, and I asked him about the running, and I asked him about this, and it just popped in my head right now. D-Law said something that 100% agrees with what you just said. He says D-Law told me that he sacks the quarterback on his way to stop the run. And I was like, that's dope. I never heard someone say that. But he's like, yes, that's what I believe in. He's like, I'm going to sack the quarterback on my way to stop the run.
Correct. Yeah, so it just, those guys as a unit, man, they all feel the same way. And Tank is the leader of that group, man. And if you think back to last year with the Hot Boys and all that, man, those dudes, they bought into that 100%, man. And I think they did their thing last year, and they're going to really do it this year, man. This can potentially be a deep run, if not a Super Bowl appearance from the Cowboys, if they can get everything taken care of, they get taken care of.
My last question, I promise. Do we have this is a hard word to say, but do we have I'm going to say playoff. Do we have a playoff defense, a stop-the-run defense, in your opinion, a Super Bowl defense? That's what they want me to ask you, but in our opinion, do you feel we have that?
As long as everyone stays healthy, and they can get some contributions from some of these younger guys, without question.
Let's go.
Everything is in place. I mean, you've got the depth, you've got experience now. Guys are right where they need to be in their career as far as still having some youth behind them. You've got tremendous coaches defensively. Coach Marinelli and Coach Richard, those dudes, what else can you ask for? So I think the Cowboys defensively will, hell, they carried the team last year.
Thank you.
I think that they have the defense that can make a deep playoff run, if not, a Super Bowl appearance, as long as everyone stays healthy. That's going to be the overriding contributing factor to how successful they are this year, is if everyone can stay healthy.
Sounds good. Well, Coach, boss, unless you got anything, I appreciate you for. Yeah, go ahead, end it off, boss.
Go, Coach Tucker. I'm gonna call you Coach Tucker, man.
That's cool.
So check this out, Coach. I'm in Dallas.
Yeah.
So you in Frisco. I'm Southern Dallas, Cedar Hill. Yeah. So I want to, you said you kind of new to social media. We want to kind of open up that world to you. So a couple of times when you having some sessions, I know a couple of things and a couple of practices you have to keep confidential. You have, stuff that you have to keep within your camp. But we want to kind of help you with that. So we're going to be talking about that to where when the next time you have an exclusive session, we want to come out to Frisco and we want to air it. Not you actually doing the work, because I know that's confidential. That's proprietary information, right?
Yeah.
And I understand that it's business.
But anything with the kids, we can help you out with too, because I know you run a really. I want to make sure you plug that at the end here too. You have a camp that you put on each year, and that we definitely help you get some kids in there. But we understand that the stuff it's almost like talking to someone's attorney. You know what I'm saying? Talking to someone's personal attorney in this game is like talking to someone's attorney. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you didn't tell them about that chop block, that chop swing I be doing. You didn't show them how I do that, did you? don't be telling them my secrets, you know what I'm saying? So,
man, I would never share that. Like, the stuff that you're doing, is this something that's clear about your work? I was looking at LJ from TCU.
Yeah, man.
I say, man, that guy game look like Tank.
Yeah.
And then I know why.
That's why I said we wanted him, and we thought we could get. I thought he was a. People were telling me, like, as we got closer to the draft, like, bro, there's no way you're gonna get him at pick 58. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking maybe not enough people knew about him. Like, that's what I was hoping. But I think when you start putting videos of him training and doing all that type of stuff, that stock just going up. I was like, no way we're getting him.
And hey, man, LJ is special, man. You know, I could talk to you guys all day, man, about this. I love this, man. But so LJ special. His story is special, man. Coming from a small town like Monday, you know, basically only having one offer to TCU, and then having to fight tremendous adversity while he was there. You know, he got his degree. Hell, he wasn't even considered the best defensive lineman on his own team.
Damn.
And so. He damn sure wasn't considered to be the best defensive lineman in the Big 12 because that honor went to Charles Omenihu out of Texas, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But LJ has one thing that you can only get from coming from a small, hard-working town like Monday, Texas. Man, this dude's work ethic is unmatched. He just flat goes, man. He goes. And I remember visiting with his agent, Scott Cashline. He says, Tuck, man, this guy, he has a great senior bowl. He's going to creep up into the first round. And, you know, after my first workout with him, I said, man, you know what? He really has an opportunity to do that, man. And damn it, that's exactly what happened, man. This dude, he's going to have a great professional career, man. He is one of those rare kind, man, that you don't see all the time. So, super excited for him, man. He's an outstanding football player. But I do have a shameless plug.
Shoot, I was about to ask you for it. Go ahead.
and believe it or not, man, it's not for me. It's not for me. But the high school that both of my sons go to, John Paul II High School, is a private high school in Plano. I don't know if you knew this or not, but George Teague is the head coach.
Okay.
And, man, he's got something special going on, brother. He's got, and I'm going to do some name dropping for you. It's going to blow your mind what's going on over there. But Seneca Wallace, you remember Seneca Wallace?
Yeah, I know who Seneca is.
He's a quarterback coach.
Ooh, they're going to be moving.
Man, come on. You remember Jonathan Scott?
Yep.
Out of the University of Texas. He's an O-line coach.
He played tackle, right?
That's correct. Chris Givens, who actually just finished playing not too long ago, out of Wake Forest, receiver coach.
Yeah.
Right, and then you got Chet Brooks. I mean, he goes back a little bit, but out of Texas A&M, man, he's the one who started the wrecking crew, got 2 Super Bowl championships with the 49ers. He's on the secondary, man, and so, and then lastly, Mike Myers out of Alabama, who also played for the Cowboys, is on the defensive line over there, man. So they've assembled a staff, and they've got a group of young football players, man, that are going to really shake up some stuff here in the DFW, man. I'm super excited for those guys, man, because it's incredible, man. It's incredible what they got going on over there.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Tucker, I'm Dallas all the way through and through, and so is West Coast in terms of the Cowboys. And then, with high school football, I played here and stuff like that. We never really talk about this, but, I'm pretty sure West Coast is not helping, and kind of feature that because we kind of more encompass, and especially helping out the city, the way that you help the Cowboys, it'd be a pleasure to give more exposure to local high school. Because people don't know this, but high school in Dallas is really like most states professionals. The resources we put into it, so that plug it would not be cheap, it's expensive, and we'll be more than happy to kind of add exposure to everything you got going on.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, I was in Little Elm, going to go pick up going to go have dinner with my homeboy Stash, man, and I saw a stadium, and I was like, what college is that? And he's like, oh, that's the district stadium. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I'm like, bro, I know, but what college? Like, what college is it? He's like, no, that's a high school stadium. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me?
Yeah, Little Limb Stadium.
That's but they have skyboxes. Like, I'm thinking, like, who is sitting up there in a high school game?
Right, man. Right. Yeah, and Coach Brown does a tremendous job over there too, man. And where do you go see Allen on the King Stadium?
I've seen, my sister teaches at Allen, so I've seen Allen. Allen's is ridiculous.
Unbelievable, man. It's absolutely unbelievable. So, quick story, man. I had a chance to go down and visit with the coaching staff at UTSA, and you know, one of the things they were talking about is how difficult it is to recruit players from the North Texas area because the facilities are so nice. Man, these kids are taking a step down, going to a Division II or a small Division I when they come from programs that have indoors and they play in $60 and $70 million stadiums on Friday nights, and they got 20,000 people showing up, man. How can you get a kid to, come to a smaller school, a smaller D1, and they're coming from that?
Yeah.
And so that's why you see a lot of these smaller schools going high state, because Texas kids, man, they're not impressed by facilities, man, because they have that high school level.
Wow. Well, Coach Tuck, I just want to let you know, let them know we about to get up out of here. I appreciate you, man. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes, man. This has been awesome. I definitely feel more comfortable speaking about the defense alignment and what their responsibilities and things like that. And man, you've been a great blessing. I know you don't do social media, but you actually have an Instagram page. If more people knew where you were, it would be way more cracking. Because some of the videos you have on there are I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like some of the stuff you have on your IG. So let them know where they can follow you on IG and on social media.
So and again, man, I have somebody do this for me. So it's D-line_guru. And then it's going to be at TWF Training.
Okay.
So one of those is Twitter, and the other one is Instagram. And then, of course, man, you can follow us. You can hit me on the website, and that's trenchwarfare.us. And man, we train year round. The training program is year round, man. We go 4 days a week in the spring and the summer, and then during the season, man, we link up on Sundays. And we get some good work in on Sundays, man, year round. So
I heard that.
You need that touch up during the season, man. You need that touch up. So we're here, man, year round.
Sounds good, Boss Cowboy. Let them know where you from. Where you at, Boss Cowboy? Where they can follow you at?
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm Cowboy. My Twitter handle is at Cowboy_Boston. Everywhere else you can find me at Boss Cowboy Sports.
Absolutely. And hey, you guys already know it is. I am your boy West Coast, man. I appreciate Coach for coming on here today and blessing us with his knowledge. You guys remember, we have one rule about guests when they come on our show, and you guys already know that rule. That is the new information that you guys have since Coach Tuck took this. And I ain't gonna lie, man, it took me about 4 months to get him on here, so I really need y'all. It got to the point where I literally was just like on his timeline, like, "Hey, Coach," I ain't gonna put him out there like that, but it took me like 4 months to get him on my show, man. So, what rule do we have? The rule is when players or coaches give their time to come on our show and grace us with their knowledge, you must apply it. That means if anything that you saw or heard today is going to be a change of a thought or thing, or how you felt about the dealing with the line, you need to change those thoughts, because we did not bring him on this show so that you can have an opinion on the defensive line. We brought him on this show so you guys can have some factual information on there. So if there's any rumors or anything like that you thought about what defensive linemen supposed to do, how they're supposed to act, replace those with these factual evidence that this guru has given us, man. Coach, I'm hoping we impressed you enough to let us have you back on the show at some point this season, because I know a couple of these guys we're gonna play, and I'm for sure gonna be trying to ask you, like, yo, what because it might not even be Zach Martin, because I don't even know if Zach Martin will be healthy. So I know Connor Williams may need a little help, and I know whoever played for Zach Martin might need a little help. So hopefully we can squeeze some secrets out of you if we play some of these guys. But I just want to let you know, Coach, I truly appreciate you, and I truly appreciate your time today.
Hey, man, anytime. Thank you guys for having me on, man. Anytime, hit me up. I might be slow getting back to you. I do apologize for that, but man, you got my number anytime, man. I love to come on and visit with you guys.
It's all good. I'm gonna just have my agent hit you next time.
No doubt, no doubt.
All right, coach. Hey, coach. This is Coach Tuck from Trench Warfare. Remember, I'm gonna have his information on the page. So if you want to get your child involved, he takes out of states. I've even seen on his Instagram that there are people that fly out of kids. These are people putting their kids on planes and flying him out there so he can train them. That's how important, and that's how they view his training. So if you are looking for that high end next level training, then make sure you get in touch with Coach Tuck, and I'm going to have his information right here on the page. You guys already know what it is, man. I appreciate you guys. Never look down because the star's up. Peace. All right, Coach. I appreciate you so much.